Shishul ma'am, we can start.
Okay, hi then. Let's start. First of all, good afternoon to everyone who have joined this online session today. And our special thanks to CIET and NCERT for considering our request, humble request, which we are very much in need of when we are in need of this online on PRASHAST training session. So thank you so much, ma'am, Dr. Anchal, Rani, for organizing this program for our state.
Thank you, ma'am.
As Nagaland, we have started our academic session, and with this registration in this PRASHAST 2.0, we needed some clarifications, and then some schools and some teachers, special educators, they were having problems like how to go about with this one again. So it is we are very happy that our request has been granted, our wish has been granted, and we are looking forward that we'll have a good session today. To begin, let me introduce to the participants who have joined that today our special session experts are Dr. Anchal Rani, academic consultant, CIET and NCERT, and Mr. Ajay Prasad, consultant, CIET and NCERT. So the time will be given to them. They can begin the session.
Okay, thank you for welcoming us. So me and my colleague Ajay Prasad from CIET and NCERT joining for this session demonstration for the demonstration of PRASHAST application. Simultaneously, this session will be live telecast on the NCERT official YouTube channel. So our technical team with us. Also, we shared a pre-test link in the chat box. So it is requested to all the participants kindly click on this link and fill this form. So it will help us to register your email IDs and mark your attendance. So now, as the topic for the today's session is online orientation of PRASHAST application. This is specifically for the Nagaland only. So first we start, what is PRASHAST application? So PRASHAST is the application. So PRASHAST is the application which is launched in 2022. This is a pre-assessment holistic screening tool used for the screening of the all 21 disabilities enlisted in the RPWD Act 2016. So this application helps us to screen all the disabilities which are visible or invisible. Now this application is available for iOS and Android version, and three main stakeholder, the teachers, special educator, and the principal can work on this application. So for going further to the Ajay sir to understand how we can download this application, what is the main role of this application, we first understand what is the basic requirement, why we need this application. So to understand this, my first question to you, to the participant who joined this session, as we know, there are 21 disabilities. How many disabilities we cannot recognize visibly? So you can answer in the chat box, or you can unmute your mic and answer us. The disabilities name which we cannot see visually. Now we have more than 130 participants with us. So you can answer in the chat box. We have 2 hand raised. So if you want to say something, kindly.
SLD, ma'am, we are getting response on chat.
Yes, sir.
Like intellectual disability by Mungla and Song. And Sisulu ma'am said like
this is a specific
SLD.
Learning disability. Yes, sir.
Yes,
so we received 2 answers in the chat box. 2% hand raise. If they have any answer, though, they can unmute their mic and answer us. So as Sishul ma'am said, SLD, specific learning disability, it is a big umbrella in which dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyspraxia, and ADHD children are covered in this disability. So apart of from these four, we have other disabilities also which we cannot see, like the autism, like the intellectual disability, also blood related disabilities like thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, hemophilia. We cannot see all these disabilities. And as we all also know that RTA 2009, RPWD 2016, and NEP 2020 regularly recommended us, suggested us, we need to screen all these children at the school level, and this screening should be done by the teacher. As we know, all the students spend most of the time with the teacher. So we have two requirements. First, we need to screen all disability at the school level, and here is the role of the teacher is very important. So this process application is a solution of both requirement. It helps us to screen all 21 disability which we can see or not, or it can be used by the teacher, special educator, and the headmaster without any specific training. So now I am like to request Ajay sir. As we know, there are three main stakeholders who will perform different role on this application. So what are the main responsibility they need to perform in this application? And further we get to know from you how we log in this application.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So now I'll be taking you through the process. And first, before getting into more details like how we'll be using application, first we want to talk about like what are the major roles in this application and who are the main stakeholders to perform activities. So the first stakeholder is head teacher or the principal of the school. Second is the teacher, and third is a special educator. So first, when we talk about head teacher, so head teacher would be responsible to conduct or he or she will be supervising each and every activity in the school, which includes assigning teacher, approving teacher first, then assigning screening for a particular class, second, approving special educator and assigning class to them. Third, principal will have access to all the data or information regarding students so that they can share it with the block resource coordinator or state I coordinators to plan any assessment camp or aid distribution camps. Whereas teachers would play an important role because teachers has the responsibility to do screening part one, where every teacher would be marking behavior based on their observation in screening part one. Okay, and so special educator will have a role to take the screening further. Like suppose in this application we have given a checklist of 63 questionnaires screening part one, but we have not named any of the behavior with the label of any with the label carrying the disability name. So every behavior would have something like can a student has difficulty. So once a teacher marks those behavior, the special educator would be the person who will be confirming that are these behavior relevant to any disability, or is there anything or any support that is needed by the student so that they can go for further assessment and identification by the medical practitioner. Okay, so now we'll be seeing like how can we download application from Play Stores.
So before going how we can download this application, as you mentioned, two name, part one screening and part two screening.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the basic difference between two, sir? And this, as you already told, part one is filled by the teacher and part two is filled by the special educator.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, part one and part two, the major difference lies between the number of questions. Like in part one, the teacher will be getting questionnaire based on the observation against any disability, and those observations are not marked saying locomotor disability, and there would be some observation that is not the case. But there are 63 observation like general observation which a teacher would make. Okay, and whereas for screening part two, special educator will be getting a set of questionnaire for each and every disability listed in RPWD Act, which is RPWD Act 2016. Uh, they would be getting a questionnaire based on each and every disability.
Okay, so this is the main three responsibilities.
Recording in progress.
like the headmaster is monitor the progress and screening procedure.
Yes, ma'am.
Teacher will perform part 1 screening and special educator will perform part 2 screening in this application.
Yes, ma'am.
So now how can this application can be downloaded by the users and the participant who is in this meeting, sir?
Yes, ma'am. So now we'll be taking forward like how the application can be downloaded. So first and foremost, I would like to inform that this application is there on Play Store and App Store. For on Play Store, Android users can download it, whereas from App Store, iOS user can gain access. Secondly, before proceeding forward, we request you to please uninstall any previous app or the version of Prashasts that might be there on your on phone, so that you get the latest update. Okay, for that you have to go to your Play Store by clicking on the icon. Like over here, we can see the Play Store icon. After clicking on Play Store, you'll get an option to search for the application. So please search using the name of the Prashast, that is PRASHAST, and the user has to ensure that they download the application that is being published by NCERT. Okay. And once this is done, you'll see after getting installed, you get an option to open the application, and the same can be accessed through the icon on your home screen or the mobile phone screens.
So is like the other application we download in our phone, the same procedure we follow in the Prasad case.
Yes.
So now when we download the application, so how we can log in this application, sir?
Yes, ma'am. So to log in Prasha's application, first we have to click on the application icon. After that, a splash screen would open, followed with a screen with MOE logo and NCRT logo, a brief detail about Prashas, and then we get to the page where we get an option to log in with Aadhaar and mobile number. As this application is using Meri Pehchan as a single sign-on or authentication process, so we request users to prefer logging in using their Aadhaar number, because this will prevent any confusion or issues like a mobile number might be linked to several Aadhaar. So this can be mitigated by choosing Aadhaar as a preferred option for the first time user, and going forward, the user can log in using their mobile number. Okay, so over here for demonstration, we are selecting like login with Aadhaar. We'll get an option to enter the Aadhaar number, followed with the OTP that needs to be filled in, and pressing on sign in option. After sign in, the user will get a consent form where the user will be shown like what all informations are being fetched from their profile. As DigiLocker, we are not accessing any document or any information on your uh, DigiLocker. We are just taking basic details like name, date of birth, gender, and profile picture. And going forward, like if you feel that you don't want to log in or you don't want that option to edit or fill in Aadhaar number every day, once you scroll down in the same page, you'll get a calendar. Like you'll get an option to edit, and on pressing edit, you'll get a consent, like consent validity. You can give a validity to your consent, like how long you want this application to be logged in after giving access for the first time. Okay, so you can choose from the calendar, like it can be a week or a month, depending on your comfort. So after submitting all these details and giving yes, allowing the consent, so the user will be landing on a role selection page. So over here, we have now entered the application. If the user find that the name of the user is incorrect, we request user to get it corrected on their Aadhaar, because Precious is not creating any profile. Everything is being fetched from your Aadhaar.
So, here is one announcement. Kindly don't mention your name in the chat box. Please fill pre-session assessment link, which is already shared in the chat box, and I'm sharing again and again. So please fill this form to your mark your attendance. So I just said now come to the app demonstration. As you already told, now by this way we can log in this application.
Yes, ma'am.
And we will find their name in the at this screen. So if the name is not correct, so we should correct our information at the DigiLocker or Meri Pehchan, then we go further. So now we need to select our role. Like you already told, we have 3 roles in this application: teacher, headmaster, and the special educator. So please tell us how we can select one by one these roles, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So now to select role, the user will have to click on the drop down. After clicking on select your role, the user will get a name like role selection or the head. We are talking about teacher would so head teacher would be clicking on their profile, that is head teacher, and after that they'll get an option to enter the school UDICE code along with a option to enter their email, school linked email. Clicking, giving all the after giving all the details, including UDICE code and email, the principal would be asked to confirm that whether they want to go forward with this information. On clicking yes, the head teacher will be seeing the details that has been fetched from Meri Pehchan, and after submission of this form, the user, that is the head teacher, has been logged in into the application. Going forward for the role of teacher, the teacher will have a similar process. First, they have to select their role, like they will be selecting teacher. Along with, they will be asked to fill in the other details like select the teacher category, teaching levels. After selecting the relevant options and along with the Aadhaar or sorry UDICE code and clicking on continue, they will get an option asking that are they sure they want to continue with these details. After clicking on yes, their details will be like head teacher, we have shown what has been fetched from Aadhaar. Similarly, teacher would be giving clicking on submit, and now we can see the teacher will receive a SMS, and now they have reached on the dashboard. We request all the teachers who are logging in using the UDICE code. Once you are on the screen, please press add school so that your request is sent to the head teacher. And similar process is there for special educator. The only difference in this application for special educator is that a special educator will be associated to multiple school. That could be 1, 2, or in several states we have seen that single special educator is associated to more than 100 schools. So depending on the place and the number of schools they are associated to, the special educator will have option to add more schools later on also. So first and foremost, special educator will be selecting their roles. Along with any of the details listed here, they can enter any one of the detail to initiate the process. For example, we are taking here the UDICE code. Once the special educator fills in the UDICE code and press on continue, they would be able to see the details that is being fetched from Meri Pehchan. Along with that, a confirmation, and now we can see the special educator is logged in. Similarly, just like teacher, special educator will also have to click on add school to send the first request to the head teacher.
Okay, thank you, Ajay, for explaining the role selection procedure. As you demonstrated, it is very simple. We need to fill only one or two information and mainly the school UDICE code. So in the case of special head teacher, we need only UDICE code and UDICE linked email ID. In teacher case, we just need the school UDICE code. And for a special educator, UDICE code, Diksha ID or CRR number, any one of these three. So after the role selection, now we can see the dashboard of all three stakeholders. This is the page. So at this screen, we have three screens. First is head teacher, second is teacher and special educator. These are the home pages of all three stakeholders. So all three screens you can see clearly. There is an option to overview the screening data at the school level for the head teacher, and for the special educator can monitor and overview the screening part 2 of all the schools whom he or she associated. Now come to the first screen, head teacher screen. At the top you can see overview option. In the middle you can see to-do list, where he or she manage teacher, manage special educator, assign screening, manage student. There are 4 options which can be performed by the head teacher in this application. In the bottom you can see the view my survey. So head teacher have the option to see the screening data, part 1 screening and part 2 screening, and they download these reports. In the middle of the screen you can see the teacher home screen. At the teacher home screen you can see the name, the teacher, their designation, the school they associated, and Next, you will find there is an option of overview of the screening. Next, in to-do list, the option is available for start screening part 1. And the option is available for viewing by survey. So they can also view the survey, the part 1 screening data. In the last screen, you can see the special educator homepage. So after the login, role selection and verification, the special educator can see this homepage. And in this homepage, they have right to overview the screening part 2 data. They can start screening after clicking on start screening button. In the middle, you can see their option is my school. So if they associated more than one school, so as I just already told, they can associate with more than 100 school as a special educator. So after clicking on my school, they can see all the list of the school they associated at the special educator. And in the bottom of the special educator home screen, you will find the option of view my survey. There they can see the screening part 2 reports, and also they can download. And the bottom right side, you have find a option is the add school option. So after clicking on this button, they can add they can send the request to the headmaster for joining their school as a special educator. So these are the three screens homepage of all the three stakeholders who are working on this PRASHAST application for the screening of all 21 disability at the school level. So Ajay sir, after successfully registering on this application, now the first responsibility is the headmaster, because he or she received the request of all the teachers and special educator to verify them. So we want to know how the headmaster can verify teacher, and after that, how they can verify special educator.
Yes, ma'am. So now we'll be showing like a step-by-step process to verify a teacher, and this will be taken forward by the head teacher. So right now, as you can see, like all the stakeholders, that is head teacher, teacher, and special educators, are on this application. So they will be clicking. First, the headmaster will now have to approve teacher and special educator. So for approving a teacher, headmaster will have to go to manage teacher option on their to-do list. And over there, they can see the name of the teacher who has sent request, and their name would reflect on pending under the pending tab. Over here for demonstration, we'll be approving this request. So after clicking on the tick mark, we can see that there's a confirmation message. And after this, we can see the teacher has been approved and their name is reflecting on the accepted tab. Okay. So similarly for special educator, the head teacher will have to go to manage special educator tab. Over here, the head teacher will have to approve the special educator by clicking on tick. And after this, they will have to accept the profile. And on accepting, we can see the name is reflected on the accepted list. Over there we can see that special educator's name is there, approved special educator's name. Okay. So the next step after this is once the teacher and special educators are approved, now the head teacher will have to assign classes, like for screening part 1 and screening part 2.
Okay, sir. So as you already told, how to verify the teacher and special educator, and this is very simple steps. Just click on the verify button and the person is verified as a teacher and a special educator. Now, after the verification, headmaster need to assign the classes. So first, how the headmaster can assign the classes to the teacher for part 1 screening?
Yes, ma'am. So going forward for the part 1 screening, so as we know that all the activities for a head teacher is listed under to-do list in PRASHAST application. So to assign screening, the head teacher will click on assign screening tab over here. After that, the head teacher will get an option like to assign screening part 1, that the head teacher will be assigning to the teacher, and assign screening part 2 for special educator. So going forward, we'll see like how head teacher can assign screening to the teachers. After clicking on assign screening part 1, the next option would be to click on assign new screening part 1. After that, the head teacher will have to fill in details like the class they want to assign along with the section, and they have to select the name of the teacher from this assigned teacher, because there's a drop down. The name would appear for all the teachers who have been approved by the head teacher. After that, the head teacher would be selecting the start date and end date. Okay, and after this, after selecting start and end date, we can see that once all these details are populated, the head teacher will have to submit these details. And once this is done, the name of the allotted classroom has been listed on assigned screening part 1, and there is a message stating that the screening has been successfully created. So this screening would be reflecting on teacher's profile. So going forward, we'll see when a teacher starts screening, how they will see this request, like this assignment given to them.
So this is a way the head teacher can assign classes to the teacher.
Hmm.
So how they can assign classes to the special educator for part 2 screening?
Yes, ma'am. For assign classes for special educator, the head teacher will go to assign screening tab. On clicking on assign screening part 2, assign screening, the head teacher will have to select option of assign screening part 2, followed with assign new screening part 2. Excuse me. So going forward, the form will open, and in this form, there's a minor difference. Like for teacher, we have seen the head teacher will be also selecting the classes or the grade or section, classes along with the section. Whereas for special educator, the head teacher will have option to select only classroom. So let's start. Once all these selection are done, we can see the name of special educator that is being selected from drop down, like Mr. Dharpal Singh is the special educator. Start date is 25th December to 23rd February. And along with that, a class has been selected. And after submitting these details, we can see that the screening has been assigned to the special educator, and it is reflecting on assigned screening part 1. There is a message that says that screening acceptance pending. So going forward, like when we'll be talking about special educator, how they'll start screening on their dashboard, we'll see how a special educator accepts the screening.
Okay, Ajay, we have one hand raised. It is from noting
Yes, ma'am.
Device. Sir, if you have, ma'am, if you have any question, you can ask. So Ajay sir, till now we demonstrated how in the process application we can log in, how we can select the role, how a headmaster can verify teacher and special educator, and after the verification, how the headmaster can assign the classes to the teacher and the special educator. Now for going further, we now understand how the teacher can uh, add the student in the assigned classes and how they can start part 1 screening. Before that, we like to ask our participant if they have any question regarding the procedure, regarding the demonstration we done till now. They can ask us, they can write us in the chat box if they have any query, if they are using this application already. All clear now. Okay, thank you for the feedback. We can go further, sir. So,
Yes.
how the teacher can... Yes, ma'am, please. Any question, ma'am? So we go forward. How the teacher can add the...
Yes, ma'am. So going forward, let's see, going forward, we'll be talking about how a teacher would be going forward, because we have seen like the screening has been assigned, teachers were approved and special educators were approved. Classes were assigned to the teacher and the special educator. Okay. Okay. So going forward, we'll see like how just sorry, ma'am. Going forward, we'll be seeing like how the teacher would be taking this process forward. Okay. So the first step for the teacher would be, as we know that teacher has been onboarded and they have been approved by the head teacher. So the teacher would be clicking on start screening part 1 from on the dashboard. After clicking on this, the teacher can see the option of the classroom that has been assigned to him or her. and on selecting this class, they'll get a blank page saying add student at the bottom. Okay, this means that in Balvatika section 1, as of now, no student has been added. So the teacher will have to add student using this add student option. Okay. So now we'll be seeing what are the possible ways to add student in this application. So to add student, the teacher will have to click on add individual. This is the first process we are showing. And on clicking on add individual, the teacher will get a form with all the details that is required for a student. Okay. And we have to make sure that the registration ID listed over here should include a unique number for the student. This may vary from school to school, but we have to make sure the registration ID is unique for every student. Okay. So once these details are filled and submitted, we can see now in the class, total number of student added is 1. And as we can see, the progress of screening is in progress, that the status has been changed. So going forward, we'll see the next, what is the second option to upload names of the student, that is bulk upload. Once the teacher click on bulk upload, the teacher will get an option of upload CSV file, and to find the CSV file, the user has to click on download file template. Once clicking on this option, the file would be downloaded on your mobile phones, and we request you to please make sure you go through these instructions given in this page. Once the file has been downloaded and transferred to the devices from where the details would be filled, this is how the CSV file would look. We request you to not make any changes in the first row, and you can add student from second row onwards. Once these are done, you'll get an option to upload CSV file. So once that is done, the students would be added to your classroom. And the third option is import existing. Import existing is valid for only those schools in which screening was done in prior year, that is like after 2022 till 2025. Like between these years, if any school has conducted any screening, they can get all the details from import existing. So for this, after clicking on import existing, the app would be asking like from which academic year you want to bring data for a particular class, and you can select class and section and click on submit. So these are the processes to add student.
Okay. So these, as you already demonstrated, sir, there are 3 ways we can use to add the student in the assigned classes. So this is done only by the teacher in this process application. So after adding the student in the respective class, the headmaster assigned them. Now they need to perform the part 1 screening. So first we understand how the teacher perform part 1 screening. So I like to request all the participants who are with us, when you start part 1 screening in the Prasad application, we need to do 2 things. First, read the Prasad checklist, part 1 screening checklist. There is 63 statement in this checklist. So read this list at least 3, 4, 5 times. You will familiar the statement you will find in this checklist. So you will confirm, you will get to know which behavior you need to observe in the student. Second, at least observe 15 days to the assigned class students. Then start part 1 screening. So how you can perform part 1 screening with this application? After, make sure 2 things: reading the checklist and observing the student 15 days. Now start part 1 screening. So for this, you need to go to your home screen page, and you will find a option start screening part 1. And when you click on this, you will find the class which is assigned by the headmaster. So there is only one class which is assigned to the teacher. This is Balvatika 1 section A. So you can see here is only one student which is added by the head Ajay sir in this class. One student. So click on the name of the student, and when you click on this, then you will find the name of the student. Just click on at the name of the student, and you will find the detail of the student. And the bottom of the name, you will find 2 options: edit profile and remove student. So if you find there is an error and you want to change, or you want to remove the student, if you mistakenly add the student in the incorrect class, so you just click on these button and edit the profile or remove the student. And if you confirm all the details are correct, so you can go for the part 1 screening. So as you already observed the student for 15 days and you already read the checklist, now click start screening part 1 button. And when you click on it, you will find this checklist. This is the checklist, and actual role of actual uh, thing of this application, purpose of this application is this screening, part 1 screening and part 2 screening. So just read these statements, and if you find any statement, any behavior you observe in the student, just click on the behavior. So here you can see we selected 2 statements as we observed in the student, and we can read these statement like statement number 1.2, this student has difficulty in moving using any part of the body. So I observed this behavior in this student A, so I tick this statement, and the second statement also. And one by one, I read all these statements. And if you observe any other statement, so we can take on the statement. Of if we not, so we can uh, leave it as it is. So at the bottom of the statement, you will find a option none of the above. So if you find no behavior in the student, so you can tick on that button. So after observation, after reading, click on the save and submit button. And when you click on the save and submit, then the screening is completed. So here is one option is also available in this application. If you find you have any doubt regarding the student behavior, like the student is upset in the school for 3-4 days, but you don't know why, what the reason of their absent. So you want to discuss with the parent, you want to discuss with the teacher, so you have the option to save the statements at that moment, and you can start the screening again after 3-4 days as your convenience. So after completing this screening, just submit, and the part 1 screening is completed, and you will find this option at the bottom. You can see success, data has been submitted successfully. So this is very simple. In this application, you can just read and tick and submit. So this is the process of part 1 screening, and the student we observe in this part 1 screening is automatically transferred to the special educator for the part 2 screening. So now we move to the Ajay sir for understanding how the special educator use this application for the screening of part 2 screening. So before understanding for part 2 screening procedure, sir, we have 2 and 3 questions to you.
Yes.
First, as you told, is a special educator can join more than one school. They can join up to 100 and more schools. So how they can join these schools? Second, as you already told, ki when the head teacher assign the classes, a message received by the special educator and they need to accept this request. So where they can find this request and how they can accept this request for part 2 screening?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so first and foremost, I'll highlight few points. Like first, we can see like for special educator, the total number of students right now is 0. Okay, though we have seen that we have assigned some of the screening or to the special educator. There's a section that says my school with an option to view all. Suppose there are several schools that has been added or this special educator is associated to. They can view the list through view all. And after that, there's an option to add school. Okay. So the first step the special educator has to take is to click on the bell icon. After clicking the bell icon, the special educator can see the list of classes assigned to him. So on selecting screening part 2, they can see the details of the school that has been assigned to them along with accept option. So the special educator has to click on accept. On clicking on accept and giving confirmation, we can see now the dashboard will look like this. Like as of now, we have screened just one student, and this one student was passed on to the special educator because some of the disabilities were marked. So over here, we can see that total number of screening part 2 is like total number of student is 1. Completed is 0 because special educator has not yet started screening, and the pending status shows 1. So the next step would be the special educator has to go to my school and select the particular class. On selecting a class, the special educator can see the number of students assigned to him. So over here, we have just one student. And special educator will also be aware of the number of screening that has been done in screening part 1 in the particular school, so that they are aware that screening is in progress. Second is screening part 2 progress. Like over here, we can see just one student is assigned and none of them has been completed. Okay. So after clicking on this student, like as you can see, not started, student A, whose screening has not been started yet. So once the special educator clicks on this, he or she will see the details of the student.
Okay, so just one more thing. So
Yes,
this is the way the special educator can accept the request. They can add multiple school, and they can see the list of the school they are associated with. So now they can start the part 2 screening, and as you demonstrate to us how they can see the number of students they receive for the part 2 screening. So just for starting part 2 screening, they need to click on the class and the name of the student.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they also need to observe the student for 15 days?
Yes, ma'am. It is suggested that special educator or the teacher, anybody who is filling this form, should observe the student for a good number of days. Minimum, we would recommend that minimum 15 days should be there, just to understand their behavior and how they are how they are behaving amongst their peers or in the classroom, just to give an accurate observation so that it can be filled in the application.
Okay, so it will also help them to validate the part 1 screening data.
Yes, ma'am.
So, sir, how they can perform the part 2 screening after observing these students?
Yes, ma'am. To perform the part 2 screening, as we have seen, like they have to select the student, they'll see the profile, and there's an option to start screening part 2. Once they click on screening part 2, the special educator can see the observation filled in by the teacher. So over here, the special educator will click on screening part 2. Now the role of special educator starts. Over here, based on the observation by the special educator, he or she will have 3 conditions. Like first, the special educator may say that the observation that the teacher has selected are valid, but they're not leading to any of the disability. So in that case, the special educator can click on no disability. Second, based on observation by the special educator, they could say the disabilities observations are correct, may be correct, but these are not pointing to the right disability. So they can select the appropriate disability from the checklist. And the third, special educator can say that these are, at least teacher has marked some of the disabilities, but there are other disabilities also that is being observed in the student, and student needs support. So in that case, the special educator will select all the relevant disabilities. So once they select the options, like over here we are selecting locomotor disability, and after that we will click on proceed. So based on the selection of the special educator, so he or she will get the list of the set of questionnaire, which is a compulsory questionnaire. They have to select, go through each and every question and click on yes or no. And after that, they have to select the relevant option based on their the checkboxes in a relevant questionnaire. Once that is done, they will also get a special educator in PRASHAST application would also get an option to fill in the observation, which could be in text form. And after all these information are captured, this can be saved and submitted. Once this is done, we can see the screening part 2 has been completed. Okay, and after submission of screening part 2, special educator cannot make any changes. They can only view history of all the information that they have filled in. Yes, ma'am. So
this is the way the special educator can perform part 2 screening. And in this application, this is very simple. No need to write anything, just click on the buttons and they select the prompt they will find on their screen. So this is the way they can perform part 1 and part 2 screening. And after this screening, when the screening is completed, headmaster need to download the screening data and shared with the Samagra Shiksha official, so the student can send to the assessment and identification camp, can be certified, and they uh, get the intervention aid and appliances and intervention at this level, at the school level. So this is the whole procedure of the PRASHAST application. Apart from these, we have 2-3 more features like the single teacher school, how the teacher and special educator can perform multiple role, how a teacher or headmaster can change their role in transfer cases, in promotion cases. So we will understand it further. Just if you all have any query, any doubt, the whole about the PRASHAST application, so you can ask us. We are waiting for your response. Now we have more than 223 participants with us. If you have any doubt, some are late joiner. So if you want to know about the PRASHAST application, any procedure, any step about Meri Pehchan, about class assigning, so you can ask us.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Madam, the headmaster and the special education teacher will be in the same school, isn't it?
Headmaster?
Ma'am,
Yes.
sir, headmaster and teacher will be in the same school. Special educator be or may not be in the same school.
So the special education teacher will give teach online, nah? That means.
No, sir, not online. Like the special educator, how they will be functioning is that suppose a school doesn't have a special educator, okay, they can request the
Okay.
officer or block coordinator to assign or
Okay.
request a special educator to get associated with a particular school. And once the
Okay.
screening part one is done, the screening
Uh-huh.
part two would be assigned to the special educator. So he or she
Okay.
can visit regularly to the school to observe the behavior of the student and give their
Okay.
observation on this application.
So, sir,
So the special education teacher will be, if we don't have the special education teacher in the school and we are calling from outside the school, the special education teacher will be coming to our school, isn't it? If we
Uh,
have the special cases.
yes, sir. So you can
Okay,
request that
that's
block
clear.
level, cluster level officer to provide you support regarding the screening in part 2 screening. Second, the thing, sir, ki special educator and teacher should screen the child physically, not online, sir.
Okay. Thank you. It's
Cool.
clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So, is there any question?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Yes,
Ah,
please,
yes.
sir.
Yeah, this registration ID is that PAN number or registration ID you will be supplying us, you will be giving us.
No, sir, because we have seen like there is an option for APAR, but APAR has not been generated for most of the students. Like it is in progress. Whereas for PAN number, it can be used, but the only condition that we are requesting is that one student should have a unique registration ID. Because some school has different alphanumeric registration ID, or some has their own registration number for identifying a particular student. So that's the only condition for this.
That registration, that means you from your end you will be issuing us, isn't it?
No, sir. No, we are not issuing any number. We are requesting school to use any unique number set that they are following in their own school. It could be PAN number, but we are not imposing it that it should be a particular number that should be there. It should be a unique number given to any student in a particular school.
Okay. Thank you.
So we are waiting for the questions. Ajay sir, we can.
Hello,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, sir.
If in a school there is no special educators, then that part could not be done.
Sir, in this application, it is designed in this way that teacher and headmaster can join only one school, but the special educator can join multiple school. And we already know there are very less number of special educator in India, and some states are very less, like 2 or 3 special educator working at the block or cluster level. So that's the reason to providing the feature of joining multiple schools. So if you don't have any special educator, you can request your at the with the IE coordinator who's working at the school and cluster level to providing support. So they can join your school as a special educator, and when you proved these special educators, they can work in your school. So
So their roles in the school or as special educators?
okay,
Which
so
subject they can teach?
they don't teach any subject. The special educator who joined your school for process, they just observe the student, and after observing 15 days, they perform part two. They fill part two screening, because this
Okay.
application, this orientation is about how we can screen the all student at the school level from Balvatika to class 12, and this application help us to screen all 21 disabilities, because we know most of the disabilities are invisible, so we cannot
Oh,
recognize, and that's the reason we never provide support to these students like the SLD child, autism students.
oh,
So
oh,
they never get help, sir. So the
okay. Thank you,
special
ma'am.
educator help us to fill the part two screening of this application.
Mm. One thing, ma'am, uh, a registration ID of a student from where do we get, or we can generate that one?
Just sir, please add if you.
Registration about registration ID of a students.
Okay, so for registration ID of the students, this is a term that we are using. This is a general term that we are using just to say any number that is being followed in your school, which is unique for a student.
Sir, it's the admission number, enrollment
Yes,
number, school
enrollment
ID, school unique number, sir. Any.
Okay,
that school
okay,
give
okay.
to a particular student, sir.
Yeah, admission number can we can take. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So can we proceed to the
Yes, sir.
next feature that is
Sir,
needed?
as in India, sir, there are.
Ma'am, one question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Supposing like if I have changed my school and I am the head of the school now in the new school, what is the procedure to change all those things?
Okay, sir, after single teacher school, we will understand from Ajay, sir, how we can change the school, how we can change the role. So first we understand how we can perform multiple role in the single teacher school. Then we will understand about how we can change the school. So in India, there are a lot of school where only one person working as a headmaster or performing multiple role like a teacher and headmaster also. So
Yes.
Ajay sir, how a teacher or how a headmaster can work in these schools and select multiple role?
Yes, yes, ma'am. So, for single teacher school and the feature that is there in this application, anyone who has been deputed as a head teacher, suppose they're a teacher and they have been given responsibility of a head teacher, or in a school there is just one person and they have to make sure that the students are the students are screened. They have to play the role of a teacher also. The first thing they have to do is to make sure that they log in into this application as a headmaster. Okay, so the first step is headmaster. The second step is the person, like suppose my name is Ajay Prasad, I am the head teacher of the school. Now I will be adding myself as a teacher. So to add myself as a teacher, the first step that I have to take is that I have to note my precious account number. Okay, for precious account number, I will click on profile. Okay, and in profile we can see this my name, my designation, and
Mm.
just below that is precious account number.
Okay.
So, and there's an option to copy this. Once we copy
Mm.
this precious account number, we'll go back to the home page.
Mm.
Clicking on the home page will be going to manage teacher, because over there only I can add myself as a teacher. Once we reach there, there's an option to add teacher. On clicking on this option, the application will be asking for precious account number. Okay, so once I'll fill in my precious account number. Okay, so I'll be filling in the precious account number that I have copied from my profile. Okay, once this is submitted, we have to enter the OTP that will come to our own mobile number. Okay. And once the OTP is filled and this has been confirmed, now we can see that I'm the teacher in the school and I'm also the head teacher. Okay, because
But
my name is.
that is clear. That is clear. But my question is, I have recently changed my school from.
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, this is the single teacher feature that we are showing. After this, we will be explaining like there's an option. So let's complete this and so that I could take you through that. Okay.
Okay, okay, please.
Yes, sir. So because once a teacher is added, this is just one or two slide more, sir. So
Hmm.
like we'll get an option like once we go into profile, there's a minor change, like there's a drop down over here. And then by clicking
Hmm.
on this drop down, we'll get an option of select roles. Like we can play multiple role in this application. Okay.
So
Hmm.
just for single teacher school, there is one thing. Whatever you are in the school, you are a teacher or a headmaster, you just enroll yourself as a
Head teacher.
head teacher. And after
Okay.
selecting the role of head teacher, add yourself with your Prasad account number as a teacher. Also, as a special educator, you can work. And by this way, you can select multiple role and perform multiple role in this application. So first need to register as a headmaster because a headmaster have the right to add as a teacher. So this is the single teacher school feature, sir. Now, as the Kavika sir asked us 2-3 times, how a teacher, when they transferred, can change their school and change their uh, role also.
Yes, ma'am. So to ensure that there's a process to change roles. Okay, so first, any user who has been transferred to any other school or a teacher who has been promoted or transferred to any other school, they'll have to go to their profiles. Like over here, they'll click on their profile, and on clicking on their profile, they can see like by scrolling down, there's school information. Along with school information, not your school and change. Okay, once anybody has been transferred, so they will click on change. They will enter they'll select their role. For example, for a teacher, we have kept the option like teacher can be promoted or transferred, whereas head teacher will only be transferred. Okay, so once a teacher or a head teacher, they will be selecting their role and they will be entering the UTICE code of the school in which they are being transferred. Once this has been entered, and they will get an option to send request, and the request will be sent to the head teacher. Similarly, for a head teacher, they'll select the role of a head teacher. They will enter the UDICE code, and they will also enter the UDICE linked email ID of the school in which they would be taking charge. Okay, once these are done, the request would be sent to the headmaster, and if they and once they approve, the headmaster will get the access of the particular school. And there are cases like that we have observed, like this is the new application that we are using. So in Precious 1.0, some teachers or head teachers were logged in. They have faced issues like they cannot log in as a head teacher. So we request for any such query or details or any help, you just share a mail on Precious help desk. Okay, this is the email ID. We request you to please take a screenshot if you're using your phone, or please note this thing. You can share request either to delete once you get an option like second head teacher cannot be added. In that case, you'll have to write a mail to Precious help desk requesting a particular requesting to delete a particular head teacher from a UDICE code. So we would be needing a UDICE code in your email and a request stating that we have to delete that principal along with your phone number, so that if any other details are required, our team can reach out to you through your mobile number, because email would take a longer time. Yes, ma'am. So like, sir, I hope this process is clear.
We receive some question in the chat box. So one, I will ask you one by one,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
you can answer. First, we receive from Dimapur, Manu. Can we get this PPT or link for the reference?
Yes, ma'am. We request you to fill any of the assessment forms that we have shared right now, because once the session is over by end of the day today, we'll be sending emails to all the email that has been captured through this form. So anybody who wants the presentation or the communication material for dissemination and for understanding also, we request you to fill the form that we have posted right now or anybody who has filled in pre-assessment or post-assessment both will be sending to everyone who has filled in the forms that we have floated today.
So the one thing, sir, who will fill this form, pre-test or post-test, will get the all advocacy material on PPT or
Yes,
the
ma'am.
YouTube link of this session. So kindly make sure to fill this form, pre-test or post-test. Now the next question is from the Xiaomi device. Is it app for special need student only?
Ma'am, as we have requested everyone that please don't make any inferences that this is only for student with special needs. This is a screening tool. This is not a diagnostic tool, and we need to screen each and every student in our class, irrespective of their being identified as a disabled student or not, because we are assuming most of the disabilities are invisible, and assessing them or knowing them well before time or at the early age would help not only the students to get a better life in future.
So this application is mandatory to use all students from Balvatika, from nursery KG to class 1 to class 12, all students. We cannot say anyone is special or not special without screening. Just screen all the child, or either they have any disability or not. Just screen all the children. So next question we have from Akitu Sema. He's asking, I am an orientation mobility instructor for visually impaired person, currently deployed as a special educator. So I qualify to do the part 1 screening with my qualification?
Ma'am, part 1 screening can be done by anyone, but uh, we prefer that teachers should take a part 1 screening so that each and every behavior can be identified, and the student who needs special attention or the expertise of a special educator can be taken forward in screening part 2.
So Akitu, sir, ma'am, can you please clarify, do you have any CRR number? If you have CRR number as a special educator, then you can perform this part 2 screening. So we have more questions, sir. I'm finding, yes, sir. We have one question from Dimapur Manu. He's asking, can we get this PPT? Yes, we already said, yes, we will share this link to all. Please share a helpline number because we will have lot of queries when exercising the screening. Okay, sir, we already share help desk email ID. Kindly write us on this email ID. You will receive an response within a day or 2 days. Our technical team is always ready and very prompt to answer your queries and to provide support. So you can write us on this help desk. And okay. So Akitu Sema sir, if you don't have CRR number as a special educator, sir, part 1 screening can be filled by any teacher who are teaching in the classes, but the person will perform part 2 screening need to have this qualification, complete qualification for part 2 screening. So if you don't have CRR number, you don't have special education degree, so please don't fill the part 2 screening. Kindly request any special educator in at block level or cluster level to provide you support.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Last year, I had installed this Prasast application. So this time I will keep our other Prasast application should be downloaded.
Ajay sir, do you want to add anything?
Sir, if you have downloaded this application last year, that means it must be around December or so. We would request you to please update once you go to Play Store and you'll select option as you'll search for this application Precious. You'll get an option to update, or else I would say please uninstall the application and install a fresh one, because this will reduce any possibility of using a older app or any error that may come up.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So if anyone remove this application from their devices, tablet or mobile phone, is the data is also deleted from their the application?
No, ma'am. So once a user logs in with the credentials, like with the Aadhaar number, they can see the data or the progress of all the work that they have done in this application.
So we can request all the participants, if they are downloaded this application earlier, they just remove, delete, uninstall this application and download this application again. The data will be saved. No data will be removed from the application. When they will log in, they can see the data of the already screened.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So if anyone have any other question, so they can ask us. App name. So the name of the application is PRASHAST itself. Yes. So you can write this Prasad help desk email ID. So if you have any query, any issue, just write us on this help desk. Our technical team will provide you support. And if you want any orientation, any training at your district, at your block, at your cluster, at your school level, so you can just write us an email to our joint director, CIET, and the Professor Bharti Kaushik, who is the program coordinator of this whole project. So, Shishulu ma'am, is there any feedback from your side?
Nothing is. Later on, if I get anything,
Okay, ma'am, kindly
I'll
ask if there is any question, if there are any other regional language they want to ask the question, so just you can translate. Just ask to the past participant if they have any query.
Yes, I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, so can we conclude this session here?
All right.
Okay, so thank you so much for the Nagaland for joining us for this Prasad orientation session. And I like to extend my thanks to the Shishulu Thira ma'am for inviting us. And I like to thank Ajay sir for clarifying all the doubts our participant have. Also our technical team who is with us for live streaming of this session. So now I like to thank all the participants and say goodbye. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving